Hello everybody, it's me, producer Ross, and welcome to another edition of my ITFC. And today it's a pleasure to be joined by good old Piers. How you been doing, my friend, during this pandemic? And it's great to have you on.
Thank you, Ross. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, doing okay, actually. I mean, crazy times. I mean, I work in news, so for me, it's just been the craziest year of work. But I mean, just getting through it really like everyone else, I think. Well, you can tell from my accent, I'm not from Suffolk or anywhere near. When I was younger, I was brought up in Surrey, a place called Farnham, which didn't really have, I mean, no offence to Aldershot, but it didn't really have like an obvious team to support. My dad said that he supported West Bromwich Albion, although there was no evidence of that. And my uncle was from Leeds, and he tried to make my brother and my cousin and I be Leeds United fans. It's mid-70s, dirty Leeds were doing brilliantly, you know, it was a great club. But I knew it was wrong. I knew there was I couldn't support Leeds. Stuck in Surrey. I used to read Shoot magazine. I was really into football. And I just, Ipswich Town kept popping up. They hadn't really won anything, but there's something about them. It's kind of almost like a burning bush moment. I thought, I know, nobody at my school supports Ipswich. I'm going to support Ipswich Town. I'm going to be different. And then, so this was about 1976. So we were already, you know, we were good. But then it was like, once I'd made that decision, it was a bit like going through the wardrobe into Narnia. And suddenly this club that not that many people knew much about were brilliant, were suddenly shooting up the league. And then obviously 1978 FA Cup year, I followed them through every round as they carried on winning, semi-final 1978 against West Brom. And then suddenly we're in the FA Cup final. I'm the only kid at school supporting Ipswich. So, I was a bit of a celebrity in some respects. And then on the Friday before the cup final, I told everyone I was going, even though there's absolutely no way that I was going. I didn't know anyone who supported Ipswich. We won, it was amazing. Monday, back at school, almost like a ticker tape parade. I turn up, the only kid in school who supported Ipswich. It was like, it was amazing, kind of like picking a team. And then obviously years after that, the early 80s, we were on Match of the Day every week. We won the UEFA Cup, should have won the league. So yeah, glory days. It was, so that was it really. Didn't get to ever go and see them, but that was all I was into Ipswich Town.
As you said, you're based in Surrey, so, it's probably hard. Like you said, your family weren't really fans of the club, so it's hard for you to probably get there and try to drag them along. So can you remember your first game?
I can very well. So a decade later, I was at university in London. First house I was sharing, putting all my stuff in the cupboard, put my Ipswich Town mug in the cupboard, already, to my amazement, was an Ipswich Town mug. One of my flatmates was from Ipswich. So, really the first person I'd ever met from Ipswich. So he said, "Oh, do you go to games?" I said, "No, I don't know anybody who supports Ipswich. I've never even dreamt of it." Like, right, that's it. We're going to go to a game. So it was the 1988-89 season. We were in the old second division, and it was Palace away. Palace ended up, I think, finishing about third that year. They were a good team. They had Ian Wright up front. We were decent. We had Johnny Walk was playing. We had Romeo Zondervan, Chris Kiwamia, Forrest in goal. John Duncan was the manager. So a decent team, doing okay in the second division. But we turned up. I never ever forget walking down to Selhurst Park, going for a beer in the pub, and then it's just, you see the lights glowing in the distance, don't you, of the ground. We go in, great turnout in the town end. Unfortunately, we lost 2-0, but it was amazing just seeing players I knew so well in the flesh, the atmosphere, being surrounded for the first time in my life by town fans. It was yeah, that was it. So we lost, but then that was it. I got the bug.
Next question is, your favourite Town player of all time. You've mentioned a few already. Once again, it's just hard to pick one because there's so many different players you probably like. So have you got a few to mention?
It's yeah. I mean, it isn't hard for me. I've always had one favourite player and always will. Obviously, over recent seasons when I've been going to games, different, modern era, Mauricio Taricco, Chris Kiwamia, but my favourite player of all time is Paul Mariner. The glory days when I was football was everything to me. I just loved Paul Mariner, and I'll never forget, my nan and granddad went on holiday to Scotland or somewhere, and they met a couple from Ipswich who were fascinated to hear why their grandson, my grandparents, why their son in Surrey would be an Ipswich fan. And they came back from the holiday and they told me about this. And then like a few days later in the post came this signed photograph of Paul Mariner. They were so amazed that someone outside Ipswich would be into the club, and they sent me this picture which I've kept ever since. He was a legend, England legend. The way he headed the ball, always be my number one player. I mean, the best game I've been to was the playoff semi-final at Portman Road when we beat Bolton. Crazy game. But the game that really sticks in my mind is 2000 December. So coming up to 20 years ago, I said to my girlfriend, who's a Liverpool fan, let's go to see Ipswich Liverpool at Anfield. I said, and she's like, oh, I'm not sure. I said, yeah, come on, you'll win. There'll be no Ipswich fans there. It'll be, it'll be fine. And she went, all right then. So I got us 2 tickets in the Ipswich end. So we're driving up there. I said to her, look, Ipswich have only ever won once at Anfield. Famous Adam Tanner goal. It'll be fine. So we get there. The Ipswich end absolutely rammed. Everyone off their seats for the entire game. So in the Ipswich end, the only person sitting down was my girlfriend. And Liverpool were totally off form. Mickey Owen was playing for them. But just before the end of the first half, Marcus Stewart, oh my God. He runs around the keeper, slots it home. Oh my God, we're 1-0 up. Not only are we 1-0 up, I've put like a tenner on Marcus Stewart to score. So can we hold on? We did. We held on to the end of the game, 1-0. Only the second ever win at Anfield. My girlfriend absolutely livid. She doesn't let me go and pick up my winnings. Like, we're out of there. We had to drive back to London, 4 hours, total silence. She was absolutely livid. Didn't speak to me for 2 weeks. So it didn't go that well. In the end, we did get married about 14 years later. And we've been, in fact, the following season, I went on my own to Anfield. We had to win. I don't know if you remember, we had to win to stay up. We didn't, lost 5-0, but I didn't take her. Famous town goal live. I was thinking about this. I mean, there have been, some great goals over the years. But for me, the best goal of all time is Roycer Premiership at Wembley, final minute, it's 3-2, we're hanging on. It's my first time at Wembley ever. I didn't go to the cup final, obviously, but I was there for the playoff final. It was such an incredible game. 3-2, can we hang on? Can we hang on? It wasn't the fact that it was such an important goal, because, I mean, it did put us through to the Premiership without a shadow of a doubt. But I love it when a player could score, and the easiest thing is to slot it low beneath the keeper, nice, sensible side foot. He absolutely smashed it, didn't he? Hit it so hard, not quite roof of the net, but almost. It was so glorious. One of my favourite ever players. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful goal. Never, ever forget the atmosphere when it went in. And it's probably the goal I've watched more than any other. So that's the one for me.
Now, talking about kits now. Once again, based in Surrey, back then, unfortunately, there was no Amazon or, deliveries, stuff like that. So it's interesting to know your first kit and then also your favourite kit.
Wow. So my best mate at the time, his nan lived in Cambridge. So one Christmas, about 77, it turns out that you could get the Ipswich kit in Cambridge. So I did get, my first kit that I got was Adidas, blue, long sleeves, pre-sponsorship, beautiful kit. I got that for Christmas, got the whole full kit, beautiful. But my favourite kit of all time is probably one that we've only worn 2 or 3 times. Probably too early for you to remember, but in about 78, we had this third kit, which was orange, black. Oh my God, it was amazing. And we wore it in about the FA Cup 3rd, 4th round against Bristol Rovers in the snow. Just an incredible kit. And I think over the years, we've always done well in orange, I think. But this particular kit was brilliant. And in art, we had to do a full-size self-portrait. My art teacher said, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to do me in the Ipswich kit, the third kit. And she went, yeah, lovely. I know Ipswich. Yeah, yellow and green.
Oh,
no. And I was like, no. So that was orange top, black shorts, black socks, the best kit we ever had.
It'd be good to sign and see if someone can dig that out, if they've actually got them, if they own that kit. It'd be interesting.
I wonder. I don't suppose, I doubt if anybody could have bought it. Yeah, because in those days, you could get, I had the white, black away kit, but I doubt if you could have bought that. Yeah, so worst moment for me has got to be, I think, lockdown this year. For me, so basically last year, I've got 2 daughters. One of them said she's going to be a Liverpool fan. My youngest, who's 9, Claudia, she has decided she's going to support the town. So last year, we went to our first game, massive game, Doncaster Rovers, 0-0, but she loved it. We listened to Taylor Swift in the car all the way there and all the way back, as much bubblegum as she could muster. But, so that's it. So now I've got my daughter to take to town games, always an excuse now to go to Portman Road. It's a day out. But then, as soon as she gets into it, lockdown, we can't go. So we are both desperate to get back to Portman Road, so I can, really get her properly hooked. And the other day, we were in Chiswick, West London. She's wearing an Ipswich hat, drinking some bubble tea, as is all the rage now. And some guy walks up to her and says, "Oh my God, I thought I was the only one in West London." So there's another Ipswich fan in West London. And I said to her, "That is it now. You are part of this big family. Hopefully that'll be with you forever. The good times, the bad times, but you're one of the gang now." My best moment ever as an Ipswich fan is a slightly weird one. So I was at university, probably 2nd or 3rd year, and my best mate, who's in London University, different college, says to me, "I've got great news." I was like, "Oh, what's that?" He said, "I've got a girlfriend." This is my mate Paul. I was like, "Right, okay, how's that good for me?" He said, he's an Aldershot fan. He said, "I've got this girlfriend, she's from Ipswich." I was like, "Right, okay." And he said, "She has got 3 brothers who've all got season tickets, and her dad also has a season ticket." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you've got to keep her. So that is that's 30 years ago. And from that day, basically, her brothers and her dad became my Ipswich family. Started going to games with them that year and have continued ever since. I meet them whenever I go to a game, meet them in the Greyhound beforehand. We've been home and away, we've been Liverpool away, all around the country away. But they are now my Ipswich family. We're best buddies as well. But Chris and Pete and their dad, they are my Ipswich buddies now. So I didn't see a game for 10 years, and now I have these. I'm sort of, almost Ipswich family through and through now.
I love that. That's the thing with football. You can meet people, you've never met before, and you become big friends, and you still speak to today. That is just the love of football, isn't it?
That's 30 years ago, and we've been going to games. I mean, they still live in Ipswich, so they're there, home every game. But they're my true Ipswich family.
Have you been able to watch much this season on iFollow or anything like that, or has it been hard for you in terms of work?
No, I watched the occasional game. It's not been great viewing, but like I say to Claudia, my daughter, it's all cyclical, isn't it? You have good years, you have bad years. I'm hoping we're not in terminal decline. Hopefully Paul Lambert, because he doesn't seem to be going anywhere, can turn it around. And, we're not far off the top. So hopefully this year could be our year. You never know.
Cool. Well, Piers, it's been an absolute pleasure. Anything else you want to add before we finish?
No, all I would say was, keep the faith, Town fans. I think, the times aren't great at the moment, but, I think, it can only get better, can't it?